Well, hello, everybody. I didn't see you there. So thank you so much for tuning in to a nice live heatless curls tutorial. And so when I was working on there, unfortunately, we had some technical difficulties. So I look a little crazy right now because I wanted to show how there was. Please bear with us as I am experiencing some technical difficulties. I really wanted to show you the effects of having heatless curls. And like I had mentioned in our Amazon stream, you can do these without any heat at all. And it's a little crazy. I know it looks really weird. And especially when you have this bonnet on, it looks even more crazy. So I'm going to put on and I can show you really quick. Yeah, this is very unique, I have to say. And it gets even more intense. So this is a real heat style your hair, especially when you want to accelerate those curls. I don't know if I'll be able to get my hair 100% all the way dry. And I just wanted to show you really quick that if you really want to accelerate those curls and you don't want to have to wait for them to air dry, then you can always use this like little bonnet thing. I think I got this on Amazon. And it hooks up to your hair dryer and blows the hot air onto your hair. So then that way you're able to get the curls to get heated a little bit and then have a chance to set. And then reveal your beautiful, most bouncy, healthiest curls, typically without heat. Thank you, April. Yes, these bonnets are really crazy. So this one's very unique in that sense. And hopefully it's not too loud for you guys to be able to hear me. But yes, this is very funny. I almost look like I have just this huge like marshmallow on my head. The treatments, and you don't want to be using them overnight. You can do this as well using just a little bit of heat or steam. Especially I highly recommend to use our treatments on wet hair so that the hair cuticle is open so that these wonderful beneficial ingredients will be able to penetrate the hair and actually show some improvement, because we highly recommend that the longer that the treatments are in your hair, then the more effective that they will end up being. So I probably have had this thing on for a few minutes now, and I think I'm going to take it off. So I'm just going to undo the bonnet and reveal this craziness here. So I don't know if I've really allowed for enough time to let it dry. So I'm going to target kind of each of the little curlers individually, just so I can show you how this will look, especially if you're air drying it. It's going to have that similar effect, but I really want to accelerate this so we can go on and share with you just some more, because we've always done tutorials on YouTube, so we're really trying to kind of vary things up a little bit. It's a tutorial on different platforms in a live stream format, so you're able to follow along with us, or you can also garner some more tips on how you can use Save Me From hair repair treatments in a more versatile way, whatever really works with your own kind of hair. So these are pretty, I wouldn't say they're all the way dry, but I'm going to go ahead and finish up my hair drying so we can get into our topic on YouTube here, which we'll be actually talking. So we've always done platforms every week, so let us know what kind of topics you'd like to see here on the YouTube channel as well. So today we'll just be talking about which of these treatments is the best for your specific hair damage. Alrighty, so as you can tell here, it's not super duper curly, but this one here seems like it has gotten a lot more curly just because it was a smaller section, I believe, so it dried a little bit faster. But and then I like to kind of spread out the curls a little bit as well. So yes, so this will have the same effect whether you apply heat or no heat. So it's really consistent, and I find that these are just like really easy to just throw in your hair, wrap them up. You know, don't show anybody what you look like because you look like maybe Medusa. This would be a really great Halloween inspired hair tutorial. So it's 'tis the season. You can tell these are very bouncy. The smaller sections of hair that you incorporate into these curlers, then the more of a dramatic effect you will have. And I only had 7 curlers in my hair, so it wasn't very many at all. And I just did the sectioning of dividing my hair in half and wrapping up those 2 sections. And then I just kind of took it section by section, kind of getting smaller sections toward the top. So here is a beautiful curl. Diligent about smoothing all of the hair going into the curler, which I kind of did really quickly just so we could get a before and after hairstyle within 30 minutes. So I would definitely say that this is a really easy look to achieve without any heat at all. There's a lot of different ways you can actually get heatless curls. One of my favorite things to do is to apply the treatments in overnight and braid my hair, and then I'll undo my braids in the morning and have just really beautiful crimped waves that are very beachy and effortless. And then I will use thermal and pollution assault for thermal will help me just with like my frizz, especially because I'm towards the ends of the hair. I haven't really gotten a trim since quarantine, so I'm long overdue, but luckily with Save Me From, I've been able to prolong that as much as I possibly can, but ends of the hair initially, and then I'm sure we're good. But so I see a comment, which product did you use for these? Thank you for asking, because I used in our last stream age acceleration for a little extra volume. I mixed them together with pollution assaults, and I used just such a small amount. I used maybe just half of a piece or a quarter of a pea size amount. So, and I'll just use a little bit more just to kind of finish off the look, especially for the flyaways, especially on the roots. So I will kind of take it up here and just whatever small bit I have left. So great question. Okay, so that was the second half of Amazon's hairstyling tutorial. So I guess you got a little nice tutorial in today's. Once it kind of unravels, it'll have that kind of nice spiraling effect. So I am just going to, I'll start with a bigger section. Just make this more spiral, and since my hair is still damp, it will make my hair nice and curly. And I'm using age acceleration, these beautiful curls, and as you can tell, my hair is so shiny. It's very, very soft, you know, especially when you get done curling your hair, and especially when they're air dried, they kind of have a little bit more of a texture to them, and my hair is quite soft and really manageable. And so I really want to talk about, you know, all of the different benefits of Fenugreek, but we will be covering that in a Facebook live stream. So definitely check that out. Okay, perfect. So thank you so much for joining Save Me From. In today's YouTube video, we are doing something a little different, and we are talking your specific hair damage. So as you may know, a lot of our hair concerns are rooted from various sources of damage, whether that is from our heat styling, our chemical treatments, product buildup on the scalp and throughout the ends of the hair, and that includes silicones as well. Even if you don't use products necessarily in your hair every day, your silicones in the products that you're using for your hair care certainly can contribute to a buildup of silicones, and that will actually inhibit a lot of moisture and nourishment going into the hair strand as well as scalp. And so I highly recommend to seek out a very, very natural type of like detoxifying treatment that I will go into a little bit more further. We also have pollution assault, which is what I use on these wonderful heatless curls in today's video. We also have sun and sweat when you are working out, or if you have, if you're exposed to a lot of sun, or also hard water, chlorine, all of those harsh elements that really can actually tear and kind of eat away at the protection of the hair shaft. These are all going to have detrimental factors in the health and longevity of really your hair strand. We'll actually suffer a lot of breakage because our hair is very weak, especially too at the scalp. You want to be making sure that you're nourishing and targeting your hair care regimen and scalp as well with these really, really protective, nourishing, potent ingredients that are really formulated to repair and rejuvenate the hair from the inside out. And so we call our all of our hair repair treatments our tip to root hair reboot. And so I'm really excited to kind of go into a little bit more details exactly what that means and really who is going to see the most benefit from each of these formulations. So each of our products are formulated with a powerful ingredient, which is an herb that is commonly found in Asia, and especially in like a lot of Indian spices as well. In cuisine, you will actually hear a lot about fenugreek being used, not only in Indian culture, but as well as American for it has this really warm maple aroma, which you will find that pleasant smell in every single one of our products. It is really the potency of the encapsulation that we have in each and every single one of our Save Me From hair repair treatments. And so when you smell that wonderful warm aroma, it's to repair and rejuvenate the hair shaft. Even just on the ends as well, you'll see just so much more softness in the ends, as well as reduce split ends, so fewer split ends, so fewer trips to the salon, and especially if you're trying to grow out your hair like myself, you want to be making sure that you are avoiding those split ends because they will travel up the hair shaft and will cause further damage. And especially if you're trying to grow long hair, we all know that those routine trims are really important for the maintenance of our hair and hair health. So that's one thing I love about Save Me From is that you're able to prolong a lot of your salon treatments, especially to that of your color. We also have the chemical conflict and vibrant until your next salon visit, so you can really prolong those visits as well. So I was talking about fenugreek and really how beneficial it is. And a lot of Indian women just really have beautiful, thick, shiny, strong hair. And our founder, April, her journey through formulating Save Me From, she went to India and really studied a lot of these ingredients that women would use in these Ayurvedic, holistic beauty rituals, as well as just Ayurveda as a wellness, alternative wellness medicine than your typical, what we typically see here in our culture. So what's so exciting too is that these women would use in a paste. So they would actually let water absorb into the seeds overnight and then grind them up into a really nice paste, and then apply them into their hair from the ends and into the scalp, and then let that sit overnight. And so you're really getting the same type of benefit of fenugreek, except we have this eco extraction or encapsulation that really harnesses all these beneficial nutrients of fenugreek into every single one of our formulas. So they're incredibly potent and pure, and they're very performance driven. We have clinical studies that prove results after 3 overnight treatments. And so you can do so many versatile type of styling or also intensive treatments. Our product here is got 9 uses in its one, and it's incredibly thick, incredibly potent. So you really just need a little bit. As you may have seen, I just use a tiny, tiny bit amount in my hair per section for these curls. So I use it as an in-styling leave-in treatment and protect it for my hair. We have thermal obsession, which is really great for that reason. So that way you're protecting against heat damage, but you're also making sure to keep frizz at bay while also moisturizing and nourishing your hair. So especially if you suffer from dry scalp and dandruff, or really flaky, irritated scalp, you will find many benefits from using all of our tip to root hair roots. So fenugreek really contains really rich bioactive compounds that are known to restore shine, strength, hydration, as well as nourishment to not only the ends of your hair, but to the scalp. And so women in India would use this mixture overnight into their hair and then rinse it out the following day. But it's just such a complicated process. You really need to be making sure, like if you are doing a do-it-yourself fenugreek hair mask, we see a lot of those type of tutorials, especially with quarantine and everything, where we're really trying to kind of find and get really innovative for do-it-yourself type of routines. But if you don't get the mixture just perfectly, it can actually have more detrimental effects. And so what's so great and convenient about each of every single one of these formulations is that these are clinically proven, and they are, there's studies that are, to prove how effective these products truly are as far as really going into the deep layers of our hair. Just like our skincare, we're using targeted active ingredients. And so we actually have our patent pending Fenugreek technology, which is the eco encapsulation of the Ayurvedic fenugreek, which is sourced from farms near the Blue City in India. And so really happy to just have that be like our potent ingredient that really does show, research has shown to really help nourish the scalp and really kind of promote an optimal environment for hair growth, especially too if you're experiencing hair loss or thinning. You will certainly find a huge benefit from using age acceleration. This is one of our most popular formulas. It is proven after 3 overnight uses that you will experience thicker, more voluminous hair, and especially that will help improve just that appearance of thicker, fuller hair, and especially too as we're getting hairs coming in that can be a different texture. So this really works to soften those really wiry textures. And trust me, this product, after using it overnight, your hair is just so soft and silky. You cannot stop touching it. I have a problem with that myself, is that after using these wonderful potent formulas, that I just have a hard time not touching my hair and playing with my hair, because it's so silky and soft. And I've never had that for an in-styling treatment, which is what I did in my tutorial today, where we just take a little bit of a pea-size amount, a quarter of a pea-size amount on both hands, on the fingertips, starting from the ends down. Talk about, how we talked about skincare, were the active ingredients. So just like skincare, right? We're using a hyaluronic acid to really help reduce the appearance of fine lines, as well as vitamin C to help brighten and have a very nice brightening effect and reduce sunspots or dark spots from the sun. So just like that, we're using, it's like skincare for your hair. We're targeting various different ingredients on Facebook to share more of the details and benefits of fenugreek. So stay tuned on Facebook, Save Me From USA. But we also have these products are formulated with fenugreek, but also we have Bonnet, which includes caffeine to stimulate and energize the scalp, as well as creatine, which offers that bond building and proteins that the hair really needs to have strength against breakage. We also have phenols, which is a really well-known conditioning kind of emollient ingredient that we see a lot in skincare. So it's a skincare-worthy active that's in our hair. And then we also have the silkworm proteins, which really work to provide protection, bond building, as well as strength and improve manageability and shine to your hair. And this is formulated in every single one of Save Me From's products. I really want to just go over quickly who is going to see the best benefit from each and every single one of these products in the collection. So let's go ahead and we'll start with pollution, which is what I've been using in my hair today. So this really works to nourish someone's hair that might be flat and very brittle and be really weak and prone to breakage. This is a really, really great, like mega antioxidant rich. There's chia seeds in here, as well as artichoke leaves that really work to unite against those free radical pollutants such as exhaust. We have smoke. There's just all these like pollutants that really can actually cling onto the hair and then start to wear away the hair shaft, which is really our protective layer. Just like we do with our skin, we have many different layers of the skin. And so we want to be targeting all of those hair layers in the hair with active ingredients that are going to fight against that pollution damage. Also, exhaust is another one. And they're just really inescapable pollutants just from our daily life. And so if you're someone who may live in the city easy and it's just completely inescapable and inevitable, then I highly recommend you check out pollution salt. So those of you that may live in LA, the smog is horrible. And if you're looking just to have some really beautiful, effortless beach waves, I highly recommend it. Pollution salt. It has this really fresh, beachy, almost like it just takes you away. It kind of has just this fragrance that makes you feel so lively, and especially too, not only will you feel good, but your hair will look great. Beyond using those really harsh type of sea salt sprays, this can actually start to deplete your hair of really hydration. And so we want to be actually infusing our hair with hydration, as well as those really rich, emollient, skin-worthy acids with the fenugreek as well. So we also have product overload. And as I mentioned earlier, you want to be making sure you're using treatment, whether you think that, you style your hair with enough products or not. I do want to mention that, silicones do come onto the hair and they start to build up. So if you have silicones like in your heat styling protectant, your conditioners are popular, as well as your shampoos, those will actually coat the hair, inhibit any really of these powerful nutrients to work their way into the hair shaft. So clarifying treatment, this has activated charcoal as well as titanium clay. So these are really great. There's kaolin clay, also multi-hyaluronic acid, which is a skin really active, like we just talked about, to withhold moisture into the hair from the deeper layers, but also from the outside sources as well. So this is really great, and it has a really intriguing kind of earthy scent. It's kind of one of our more earthy scented formulas. You don't really smell that underlying maple as heavily in this. It has this really wonderful whipped kind of glossy texture, and with that activated charcoal, it is a black formula. I can show you really quickly if you're just curious. It is pretty thick, but it is a really nourishing treatment, especially when you use, also looking for extra volume when your hair's pretty flat. Then that is a really great product, because it also gives hair as an in-styling treatment. But a lot of our customers really like that as an overnight treatment. So it really can work into the scalp and really rejuvenate and restore just that health. What I want to talk about here is sun and sweat as well. So whenever you are experiencing a lot of sun exposure, or that can have really an adverse effect onto the hair and cause glycation, which we commonly know in skincare, which can actually make hair very tough and also straw-like. So you can also see some breakage after maybe working out, and especially too if you're not using a protectant for your hair, especially on the underside of your hair and your neck, as well as like the ends of the hair. You want to be making sure that you're coating as well, maybe in the summer when you are experiencing some more chlorine exposure from swimming, but also for those of you who may live in an environment where there's a lot of hard water deposits and mineral deposits, that will coat your hair and actually make your hair quite weak, and our hair starts to kind of get thinner, and we actually start to see some gray hairs that are kind of rebellious and have a mind of their own. So this is a really, really softening formula that as well as some UV damage as well. And this is formulated with bioactive milk molecules, so that adds a little extra protein and nourishment to the hair. Japanese licorice, taro fruit, and organic sunflower sprouts, and those are really rich in vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that are really going to work to replenish and revitalize that kind of dull, kind of flat hair as well, especially if it's thinning and your hair is also you have a really dry scalp as well. We want to be making sure that we're nourishing our hair with this formula, so then that way we're able to combat any of the adverse effects of birds. Here is thermal obsession, and this really helps to combat the harsh effects of heat styling, especially to when we are heat styling our hair. This works as like a dual action protectant. Not only is it going to help protect your hair against heat damage up to 450 degrees, but it's also going to work to smooth the hair and also keep frizz at bay. So this is a really, really moisturizing formula. We have really exotic oils and butters as well, very rich, emollient, luxurious butters in here as well. And I have to say that this is one of my most favorite products because I heat style my hair It has this really cooling, kind of calming effect, especially when you apply it to the scalp. It has this really kind of a tingly feeling. And so this really helps just like mend kind of the dry scalp as well as that irritation you might be experiencing. And so it's kind of got this dense whip texture as well. And I'd be happy to share with you guys the textures of the products and the formulas in another video, just because we're short on a little bit of time today. But I really want to mention that this really helps just keep split ends at bay as well as frizz. And it's really a nice styling type of product. It helps really retain that style in your hair. It actually really keeps my hair super smooth. I don't even have to go back in with a straightener the next day. And that's really unusual for my hair because I do have quite a bit of texture. And so last but not least, we have chemical conflict. So this is for someone who does a lot of chemical color treatments, especially if you're someone who does like a lot of bleach treatments. Your hair over time is seeds as well as vegetable proteins. We also have New Zealand wool and South African rooibos as well, or rooibos, sorry. And then this really just helps to kind of soothe, especially that irritation that chemicals can have on the scalp, but also really help just add strength and nourishment to your depleted hair, especially after those treatments. They can really leave your hair feeling really dry and stringy and really weak and prone to breakage. And so we want to be making sure that we're keeping breakage at bay. So we need to be making sure that we're using a strengthening kind of protein bond building treatment, especially after we've gotten all of those treatments done. Even if you are someone who just does chemical coloring and dyes, you will see a bunch of breakage, especially towards the scalp, especially if that hair was just really weak to begin with. It'll just break off and there's just no going back from there once it's broken off. So we want to be making sure that not only are we reversing the aftermath of these hair when we know we're going to go through those type of hair kind of traumatic treatments. So that was the kind of hair to spare kits. This is every single one of our products in our line. And we are a damage specific hair care company. So we're formulated for all hair types, but really targeting those specific areas of damage that you might have exposed your hair to, and you're looking for a solution because like a lot of products on the market have just a bunch of silicones that are really coating the hair and making you feel as though that there is some replenishment and nourishment to your hair, but then a couple of days later, it just still feels the same way. And we do have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So especially too with the full size, you're going to get way more bang for your buck. You're going to be able to have more treatments, especially to an overnight treatment. If you're someone who's got severely damaged hair, an overnight treatment is really something we need to kind of work on, especially just to have the product absorb as much as possible into the hair to really hydrate the hair cells, enhance the shine at the cuticle, and nourish the scalp, which has been depleted from various different sources of damage that your hair has been exposed to. So thank you so much for tuning into this stream. I'm going to hop over. I'm going to be talking about the benefits of Fenugreek, the health benefits as well as hair benefits. And then after that, I will be going to Instagram. So catch us live on Facebook here within the next 5 minutes or so. And I will see you there at Facebook Save Me From USA's page. Thank you so much.